Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video, we will be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, as well as taking a look at Decentraland, aka Mana. Some very interesting things that happened with that. So if you're curious why Mana shot up so much, we're going to talk about that in just a minute here. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe for more cryptocurrency news and technical analysis, as well as make sure you hit that thumbs up like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes on this video. Just like every video, I try to push for 50 likes. Be amazing if we got in the habit of doing that and we start going for 100 next. But in the meantime, it is what it is. We're still trying to push for 50, and I would really appreciate it. Also, click the bell icon so you can stay up to date for all the actual latest cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. Otherwise, YouTube won't really push this stuff. So it is really important you click that bell icon. Let's go ahead and get into the news. Accumulation, not trading. In the last 2 years, it's an interesting point, and I wanted to highlight this. In the last 2 years, over $30 billion worth of Bitcoin has been accumulated for the long term. A total of 2.814 million Bitcoin are in accumulation addresses right now. That's 15.16% of all Bitcoin in circulation. 62.31% of all Bitcoin in circulation hasn't been moving in over a year, and less than 15% of it is actively traded on exchanges. This much Bitcoin hasn't been hodled since pre-2017. As you can see, this number plummeted during the bull run when trading altcoins / ICO investing was popular. And that reference point is the old bull cycle, not so much what's going on now. Data from on-chain data site Glassnode shows the number of addresses with 1,000 or more Bitcoin, often called whales, continued to increase this week while Bitcoin's price dropped, dipping below $30,000 on Thursday. The count of such addresses dropped in late December and has spiked again since the beginning of 2021. One example of a large buyer during a dip occurred early Friday when MicroStrategy, guess what? They announced that they bought another 314 more Bitcoin for $10 million during the latest market sell-off. So we just saw this huge sell-off, right? Just had this huge sell-off the last 2 days. Massive drop, 35,000 all the way down to 30,000, 35,700 basically down to $30,000. Actually, it dipped down a little bit further below that. It even went down to 29,000 range. The following day went all the way down to 28,000 actually, 28,656 before climbing up and actually ending on a positive note. You can see it essentially bounced off of that 21 EMA and retraced backwards, coming back down to 32,995, just under $33,000. And on the new daily position, which is now 11 minutes into the new daily, we're already seeing a pretty substantial drop taking place right here. So it's quite interesting to see that happening. I do want to add, where's my thing at? We need volume. I don't know where that disappeared to, but I've been noticing that it hasn't been there my last couple videos. So I like to take a look at the volume here. We can actually see the volume starting to just uptick a little bit. There was that massive sell-off that took place the day before, but by comparison, it still wasn't as substantial as what we saw on January 11th. And looking at this on the weekly position, you can see that we do have quite a huge substantial drop taking place on the weekly candle. And so, I mean, that is what it is. As far as a red candle goes, the last time that we saw something significant like this, it's looking like it was back around March of last year. So, question is this the big one? Is this the big drop that we're going to see occur for the year? Or is it not as bad as what we think? So, that's a very interesting perspective to look at from that regard. Give me 1 second here. I do have a little bit of a cold. Sorry about that, guys. And continuing on with what we were saying, let's go ahead and go back to this on the daily position. Looking at it on the daily, I was talking about this a little bit before about reestablishing its position now because of that further drop down. In actuality, the previous symmetrical triangle was positioned right about like this, right? So by doing so with that, I was saying in yesterday's video, this could be a fake out. Although, yes, it dropped below the 21 EMA, it's the first daily candle position to be closed out on that position. And so typically you need 2 to 3 more days, and this could just be making everyone think that it's going to drop down, and then it comes right back up and fills into the symmetrical triangle pattern, where we then have more days before it has to make a more definitive move once again, an actual further continuation. So this did drop down, yes, but as you look at it right now, having that new formation of a bottom position, this is a little bit more substantiated within this phase, and you can actually see that on yesterday's candle it did drop down once again further below that, and then came back up and closed even on the other daily position, was technically back in. So right now I would really be concerned at seeing if we could see another bounce level right around in this region zone. So with this having a drop, first major zone is going to be at $32,000. Next major zone I'd be looking at is going to be right around 30,580 or so, and then a further drop down below that is going to be at 30,000 from a psychological standpoint, and then 29,900, and then another major zone all the way down at 27,000 as we start pushing our way back towards 25K. So a substantial drop that took place, then another substantial drop, but then some buying action. There was a lot of weird FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt news that was going on the last couple days. Just kind of recap, I think her name is Janet Yellen, something like that. So she's really skeptical about cryptocurrencies, and it sounds like she wants to regulate it a lot more, and she claims that it's used for mostly illegal activity stuff. So that's not good that she's got that kind of point of view. And then the other news that we had was, hold on. Craig Wright, the creator of Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, BSV, not to be confused with Bitcoin itself, he claims that he has the copyright ownerships to Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper, but history has proven that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto. There's plenty of evidence out there and verifiable proof, empirical data, that validates that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. And that's a whole other slew of topics that we could discuss. But the claims that he's made have actually already been disproven using empirical data. And yet he is now attempting other ways to try and basically discredit Bitcoin and trying to give an accreditation to Bitcoin Satoshi Vision and to sway people to come over to his side for that. Even though supposedly he created Bitcoin and everyone's using Bitcoin and Bitcoin's been working. Right? And then the other thing too was the false claim about the double spend. That's already been cleared up as well. I talked about that yesterday's video. If you don't understand the double spend allegation that happened and just how severe something like that would be if it actually did take place, but also why it can't take place, go watch my video yesterday. I break it down really well for you, thanks to someone else that actually explained it very well, and I just referenced what they were saying. And yeah, so anyways, now looking at the new daily candle position, if we decide to start rallying up once again, let's get above $33,345, get above the 21 EMA. This is 2 daily candle closures below the 21 EMA, which is now starting a week-based trend pattern suggestion of us being in a bear market. So we could end up seeing it fall sideways, going all the way here towards February 2nd. And by doing so, we would essentially still be below that 21 EMA, and then a decision would have to be made. This would give some time for some cool down, as we have had over a month of being bullish above the 21 EMA the whole time for these daily candle closures up until just what happened on January 21st. So that could play out. Altcoins could start to make some moves. Hopefully, if Bitcoin does push over to this point by like February 2nd, that it decides to rally up. Beforehand, if it decides to go up, $34,000 is a key level of resistance. Then we got another major zone pushing up even higher, up at $36,200. And then we start to get into the Fibonacci levels like the 0.786, which would be at $36,880. Then next level we got $37,868, and then we're starting to get back up and towards our previous consolidated space. Realistically, try to break above 41,300 $11, and then we're basically on track trying to go back towards $100,000 given the previous pattern. So this is going to be interesting how this plays out. But so far during the day, we are seeing quite a bit of a drop taking place right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a price range for you guys to show you that as of the moment, during the course of this day, it's already dropped almost 2%, and it's still showing some signs of further drop at the moment. So 1.92% at the worst case, but right now holding at 1.53% of a drop. So negative 1.53%. That's of the time of me making this video. Now let's go ahead. Well, let me get this saved first. Now let's go take a look at Ethereum. Looking over at Ethereum, Ethereum did have some claim back yesterday as well. For the drop, it didn't even go below $1,000, so $1,000 is still holding very strong for Ethereum as of the moment. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce action at $1,231. If it decides to go further, we got a level at $1,142. A further decline down below that, we'd hit $1,000, then $908, and then $836. On the way up, let's get above 1,286. A further continuation up would be above 1,420, which was the 2018 all-time high. And then above 1,440 is the all-time high period, which happened this year, happened this month. I mean, we're still in January, so of course it's still this year. And then going towards $1,500, obviously, is the next major level zone for Ethereum. Now let's go take a look at what's going on with Orchid. Orchid had dropped down on January 21st, candle position below the 21 EMA, suggesting the potential chance of going in once again to a bear market. And the next day was a fake out. It did drop all the way down, bounced off of our line. Look at how beautiful that bounced off of the support line that I've had. I mean, it literally was like right there. There's just a tiny little gap between the two of those bad boys. That's it. 25 cents or 0.2526. So I'm doing good with these call outs on these things. I'm feeling pretty proud of myself, and I'm hoping it's helping you guys. Let me clarify, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys can't ask me directly what you should or should not invest in. That's on your own decision, right? Legally, I cannot tell you guys that. I research this stuff a lot. I put a lot of time and effort into the charts as well as to looking into the news. But at the end of the day, I cannot legally tell you what to invest in. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. The news information, I'm referencing those articles, as you guys can very clearly see. When I go into the chart patterns here, if you track me every day, you can see how often I am right or I'm wrong on these things. And lo and behold, I don't know if there's really been that many days where it flipped on my technical analysis and ended up going the opposite direction. Most of the time, I've actually been calling these right. And the times that I've been calling it wrong, some weird, crazy news thing came out of nowhere and just flipped everything, the whole market. It's like, whoa, where did this news come from? So I think we're doing pretty good. Anyways, so with where Orchid is, let's focus on that. Sorry about that, guys. The drop is occurring at the moment. If we go further down below, 27 cents on the 21 EMA is the key level right here, 0.2766. If it drops below that, once again, we're looking at major support at, actually first on the Fibonacci sequence at 26 cents or 0.2636. That's down, hitting the red zone for the 0.236 on the Fibonacci retracement. So watch out for 26 cents, 0.2638. Then next level at 25 cents, 0.2541. Further level drop below that, we could see it go down all the way to 22 cents or 0.2235. That I think is going to be more substantiated if we continue to have further drops with Bitcoin or Ethereum in the market space. Most dominantly, I would say, is actually with Bitcoin, although Orchid is an ERC20 token. So if this goes up, then we got 30 cents or 0.3050. Further continuation up above that, we'd see it going into 33 cents or 0.3386. That is at the 0.5 level on the Fibonacci. Really need to try and get above 35 cents. If it can manage to pull above 35 cents on a daily candle closure, I am going to be one happy man. I'll be a happy boy. Happy boy, because it has not had a long, or it's been a very long time, or at least it feels like it. We're looking back at like September, and that was only one day of closure above 35 cents. So, you know, it's got a ways to go for sure. And lastly, let's go ahead and look up Mana. Once again, guys, if you are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes on this video, and also click the bell icon so you can stay up to date with everything. Looking at Mana, it is still rallying up hard. Yesterday, having a drop all the way down to 10 cents. Oh my gosh, man. If you would have bought that dip, all right, 10 cents, and you sold it right now, you traded it off. Let's look at this for a second here. What is that? Ah, it's a 79% increase within 48 hours. Almost 24 hours, given the fact that we just started the new daily candle position. But you get what I'm saying. Like, oh my God, man. That's a really profitable day. That for sure. Oh, now do be concerned about the fact that it went up so much, because oftentimes, as these things do, you have a low market capitalization like this does up above my head here, 18 cents. Good job on that. When it decides to take a profit, the whales come in and the thing tanks. So you got good news, sure. A lot of FOMO going in right now, the fear of missing out. You can actually see we have a previous level set up on the top here. That's at 18 cents, 0.183047. This thing looks like it might actually break the previous all-time high as we're talking. I mean, let me double check on this. If you're into the NFT space, Mana's making moves, man. I don't know if I own any of this. I don't think I do. It would have been nice if I would have gotten in on these lower levels, but that's what a lot of people feel like, right? So it went from a low range right around 7 cents or so for quite a while, but even before that, this thing was hovering around 2 cents to 4 cents, and now it's 18 cents. Look at that. Is it about to break this all-time high position? Let's go look at Mana. And its rank is in the top 100 now. Keep that in mind as well. Rank number 85. So it is definitely making some strong moves with that. There's too much noise whenever I pull this kind of stuff up. So I'm just going to go ahead and take off all of these. Just look at it from a strict price point perspective. So it actually looks like outside of Coinbase, its all-time high was actually back on January 9th, 2018. And that was almost 25 cents, just slightly underneath it. I can fully confirm this by taking a look over here at the all-time high, and this is actually suggesting a little bit higher, 28 cents, 0.2889, and it's down a little bit since then. That was 3 years ago. So you're looking at almost 29 cents, right? Yeah, almost 29 cents. Right now at 18 cents. You're looking at about 11-cent gain. Atari, really good bullish news, as we just talked about with that. So Atari, wait, did I talk about this? Uh-oh. I don't think I talked about this. Oh, crud. I forgot if I talked about Decentraland earlier or not. Well, apologies if I did not. I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit now. Decentraland's new feature, increased digital land sales, and a booming NFT market are the driving factors behind Mana's 100% rally. In the past few months, Decentraland has evolved to implement interactive applications, including payments and peer-to-peer communication. A non-custodial, transparent, auditable virtual casino is also being built in Decentraland. In this space, players can use either Mana tokens or DAI stablecoins. And another unique feature is that there are no Ethereum gas fees, as the transactions take place on a second layer via the Matic network. Although limited games are available, poker and more complex games are being developed. On December 17th, 2020, a voice chat feature was added. This allows users to interact with each other while scrolling through the virtual world, and it replicates the type of social interaction that gamers are used to from major platforms like PlayStation and Xbox. Decentraland launched its Land API version 2.0 on January 20th, 2 days ago, and this upgrade focused on improving marketplace metadata access. The update added endpoints that return more digestible information for those building tools that need data about land parcels and estates. Lastly, NFT art exhibitions have been gaining traction in the Mana ecosystem, and given the popularity of NFT art, the new feature could draw new participants to the platform. The platform also hosted a few live music events with real-world artists, a clever move considering outdoor events like concerts have come to a halt during the COVID-19 pandemic. Although much has been created, some critical features have yet to be implemented. These include a mobile version of the platform, micropayments infrastructure, and integration with virtual reality platforms. Atari. Now let's, if I missed this and I was talking about it earlier in this video, I do apologize. But yeah, basically Atari is now partnering up with Decentraland. So this is very good news. Atari is joining the Ethereum-based virtual currency gaming world Decentraland. Classic Atari games will be available to play alongside new community-created games. Atari's cryptocurrency Atari token will be used in the game. Atari will be taking over a large estate of the Decentraland metaverse. In it, gamers will be able to experience Atari's catalog of retro arcade games, including Pong, Breakout, Asteroids, Missile Command, and Centipede, among others. Additionally, there will also be space for new community-created games as part of a game jam. Decentraland avatars will be able to wear officially licensed Atari merchandise available via the Decentraland marketplace. So very good news for Decentraland recently, and even with the huge price drop that took place with Bitcoin, this move is showing strong signs of a rally for Mana. You can see it's now even breaking above this major level zone that we had identified over here on the Coinbase side. There we go. Very clearly, just passed right above it right there. So it's going back towards its 29-cent range, and let's just go ahead and take a look at this real quick from where it's at right now. If it was to go up to, say, 29 cents, what kind of a percentage increase would you be looking at? It was just under 29 cents. So essentially, you're looking at over a 50% increase on potential profits as of the moment with this. So very good news. The NFT space is a growing industry space. You'll see people like Ivan on Tech that talks about this stuff a lot, and this could be a very good project, and I think this is something that you guys should definitely keep your eyes on at the very least. But if it decides that it wants to go backwards right now, be looking at just as I was talking, look at that, pull back some, 18 cents. So 0.1843. Look at that. Next major level zone be looking at would be 17 cents, 0.1713. Next major level zone below that would be at 14 cents, 0.1435. And then we got the 21 EMA at approximately 12 cents. And then further drop down would actually kind of invalidate this entire level of gains, which would be very unfortunate. And then it goes into a bear market. It could go all the way back down to 7 cents. So very promising prospects for Mana. Obviously, it's appealing to bigger name industry spaces like Atari. And so I'm curious to see how this goes on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. Once again, if you guys are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Please, it really does help us out a lot. It helps out so much every video if you guys can. And let's try to get to 50 likes. Click the bell icon so you can stay up to date with everything. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought about everything we talked about today. And also if there's anything I may have missed, or if you just even want to say hello to me. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you in the next episode.